The way the terrorists perpetrated this attack indicates that it is the Islamic State initiative. The target were Kurdish civilians, and there is a war nowadays between the Islamic State and Kurdish soldiers in Syria. So this is a fair war for the Islamic State to wage these attacks in Turkey or anywhere, any place where there are Kurdish people.
Why they focus in Turkey?
Oh, they don't. They don't. They have attacked in France and in the States and in Germany, in many places. They have a fury and in a strategy. This strategy is to threaten people, to threaten civilians. And by the way of threatening them with violence, with violent attacks, they are convinced that they will win this war against the whole war.
We see lately that Israel and Turkey come to be very closely.
Yeah, in the Middle East, the strong deserves respect. And Dorigold, who is the Director General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, understands this point very well. And there are many interests for Turkey to renew these relationships with Israel. First of all, she wants to appear as a moderate state in the world. The second point is they need gas, they need energy. And now they are dependent upon Russian supply, and they don't want it. They want to, how to say it, they want to have a weaker dependency on Russia. And then Israel could help with the gas we found in the Mediterranean Sea. The third point is that Turkey could get information, and very important and crucial information on potential attacks at its borders with Syria. And the last but not least point is that we have a common enemy, Iran, the Shiite Iran. And for all these reasons, Turkey has interest in renewing its relationships with Israel. And for us, it is also very important. We can have less stallness in the diplomatic field. And also we get the international recognition of our rights on the gas we found in the Mediterranean Sea. We can have huge economic interest with Turkey, who has tens of millions of citizens. And the last point, joining forces against our common enemy, Iran. But we have to be vigilant with regard to many topics. First of all, Erdogan always supported and supports nowadays the Muslim Brothers, and even the most radical Muslim Brothers. Al-Qaradawi, who is the spiritual leader of the Muslim Brothers, has said that Erdogan should be the leader of the Islamic world in order to reach the political domination of the world by Islam. And another point is that Gulen, who is the arch-enemy of Erdogan, is the most important leader of truly moderate Islam. So he's fighting moderate Islam. Another point is Erdogan nowadays is implementing a totalitarian regime in Turkey, jailing and firing tens of thousands of judges, military leaders, journalists, and so on. And in the past, Erdogan forcefully criticized Israel. In July 2014, he said during Suketan the Israel-Gaza conflict, he said, Israel surpasses Hitler in barbarism. So we have to pay attention to what Erdogan will do in the next future.
Talking about Turkey, and I look directly to the Egypt. There's any connection between all the agreement that Prime Minister Netanyahu built now?
No, Netanyahu succeeded in something that specialists would have thought that it is impossible, because Turkey and Egypt are enemies. Turkey has supported al-Mursi against Assisi. He was against the putsch of Assisi in Egypt. And despite these facts, the Israeli government succeeded in renewing its relationships with Egypt and with Turkey.
Let's move now to the Temple Mount. They have a lot of problem over there.
Yeah, first we have to understand that Jerusalem has no importance in Islam. Jerusalem is even rejected as a holy town. In Islam, you have only two holy towns, Al-Medina, Mecca. That's it. Jerusalem is considered as Salisul Haramaini. It means the third of the two holy cities. It never was the capital of any Islamic government during the history. Their main city here in the region was in Ramleh and never in Jerusalem. Jerusalem became important just when there were non-Muslims dominating and governing this city. This was the case at the time of the Crusades. And then began the literature about Jerusalem in Islam. And just it happens also now when the Jewish state is back here in the holiest city for the Jewish people. So now Jordan wants to have more representative means of security people on the Temple Mount. And Israel thinks that under the king of Jordan is under pressure of his opposition, of his opponents, and demanding to have more soldiers, as a matter of fact, on the Temple Mount. And Israel is convinced that in accepting this request, it would help the king. But as a matter of fact, even if it is true in the short term, in the long term, we will pay it, and we'll pay it because we can see just now that, for example, in France, in the school textbooks, they don't call anymore this place Temple Mount, but the esplanade of the mosques. It means no right, no Israeli rights, no Jewish rights on this place, but it is a Muslim place, just as the Muslim state. So we have to consider this point and to remember that the Temple Mount is the holiest place for all the Jews during, for 3,000 years since King David.